Hey folks, and welcome to my review of the TinHfi C2 Mech Warrior. Bit of a funny name, so I'm just going to call it this the C2. And yeah, so single dynamic driver model. Looks a bit like older like Revo Next Yin kind of gear. Well, you'll see in a bit. And as of right now, I actually have not tried these, so I don't know what the actual tuning is like at all. Yeah, as usual, full disclaimers. I'd like to thank Linsol for sending me this unit to try out. So thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. Now, I'm quite lucky. I already have the C3 model, which is more expensive than this. So I'm quite curious of the differences really, and yeah, let's just get into it. So I'm not sure why the Mech Warrior kind of, material, but it looks a bit like a transformer anyway. So this is all normal specs. 10mm woofer, so DD sensitivity, impedance 32 ohm. Good to show the power ratings, distortion, frequency response. So yeah, let's have a look at what these bad boys are like. Again, I've not tried these at all, so warranty card, some things to scan. So Facebook and Twitter. Let's have a look at these. So yeah, they do look similar to, I think, like older Revo Next Yin kind of stuff. Again, I have no idea what these sound like, but they are quite premium. It's all metal. Yeah, quite nice. It's good to see that this is very different to, like all the stuff that they've pulled out. So let's see what's in here. I have no idea what the cable's like or anything, so quite a lot of tips. Seem normal size bore, so like smaller size bores on them. Let's have a look at this. Obviously I'll open it all up, but right angle connector seems a little bit on the cheaper side, but I don't know, you can't judge a book by its cover. So yeah, so here they are. Quite curious of the comfort of them being quite square. So yeah, gonna end it there. I'm gonna obviously graph them, use them, put a bunch of hours on them, get my thoughts and opinions. I'm quite curious of what the cable's like, and I'm quite curious of the actual comfort of these. So yeah, I'll see you in the future. Yeah, so welcome to my review section of the TinHfi C2 Mech Warrior, or just the C2. So this is what it looks like on the cable. Again, reminds me some like the Revo Next models or something like that. But the cable was okay, it does the job. So 3.5, right angled, no mic. Like two, you can see like dual. No chin slider, and two, here they are. So it was fine, I had no issues. Seems this is really flexible, so he did the job really. So let's take these off. Cable's okay. It's a little bit on the cheaper side, but it seems fine for what you need to do. So let's talk about comfort, obviously, because that's important, because these look uncomfortable, but when I actually tried them, they're actually okay. Yeah, they're more comfortable than they looked. Let's take this off. That's the nozzle. Yeah, it's fine, wasn't too bad at all. Again, it looks, from what I tried, looks worse than I thought it was. So 2-pin recessed, so bear that in mind if you want to change cables. Again, I was happy with what I wanted, unless you want to go for 2.5 or 4.4 cables or something like that. So comfort was fine, and I found it is actually secure enough. But I only use these for walking or when I was sitting down. I didn't try jogging or anything like that with them. Yes, so timbre, I thought the timbre was actually okay. Single DD, they've used a decent dynamic driver. I forgot the materials they used for like the coating. Don't think it was good as the C3. The C3 I think still better tuned, but yeah, timbre was fine really, as most DDs typically are, unless it's something garbage. But yeah, so micro details as well was fine. Again, not much to say really. Again, this is a bit cheaper than the C3. I can't remember the exact price of this model, I apologise, but I know it's less. So I think is it $25 to $30, something like that, I think. and it seems fine for that really. Power and sensitivity, there's another one where, again, fine, you don't need anything special. They're not like planars, which can be a bit funny, or super like responsive BA sets where they're so sensitive than normal. So that was to say really, stage was actually was fine really. I wanted a bit more sometimes, but it's okay. The earphones, they're not earbuds or headphones. But yeah, it's fine, not much to say really. Up to this point, they're not too bad at all. Probably a little bit better than I expected. And yeah, so I'll stop rambling. So sound, I've allowed the graph now so you can see what it looks like. Now, quite similar to its C3 brother, but you can also compare the graphs later on. But bass is elevated. It has enough of a hit, enough slam. They're not bass monsters or nothing like that, but it's certainly on the front side. Its brother, the C3, has more bass, so bear that in mind if you want to go towards that kind of path. But yeah, I was fine with it. The decay was fine. Like the hit, slam seems fine. I normally use electronic music is my test, and it was pretty good. Not much to say really. Does a good job. It sounds better than the KZs I've done lately. Yeah, so mid-range, again, quite clear. It has enough bleed towards the bottom to give it enough body, and it has enough elevation at the top, so vocals sound good. And yeah, not a bad set. It's good that they've tuned something decent, more affordably, shall we say. Yeah, mid-range is solid, everything was clear. Yeah, not too bad at all. So probably one of the negatives is the treble. Now, you can see there's an elevation around 2.5-ish. I wish it was a bit smoothed off there. Sometimes it got a bit fatiguing, and I think there's a little peak just under 6. It can sometimes be sharper, and I noticed these sound a bit more, I won't say harsh, but the C3 sounds a bit more refined than these are. I think it's got a better dynamic driver than this model, but it does cost more, so it makes perfect sense. But yeah, the C2, the treble's fine. It has enough extension, as you can see. Obviously the 8K is the coupler. There is a peak around 13-ish, but I didn't really notice that much, like very, very, very rare situations. But yeah, it's actually fine really. It looks a little bit inaccurate about 10K, but it's in the area where the coupler isn't classed as reliable. But yeah, treble, as in like extension, was actually okay really. Better than some of the KZs I've done where it drops off like a cliff. This doesn't, and it's fine really. Everything has good attack. Instruments sound, they all sound they have a good solid hit. I don't think as good as the C3. I prefer the C3's tuning over these. But yeah, quite a good set. Everything sounds good. Again, that lower treble is a little elevated, so that's my preference. I prefer it more smoothed off. But yeah, not a bad set. I prefer the little bit of extra bass on the C3 model, and I think the shell is a little bit more, it's a little bit better. But yeah, on the whole, not a bad set. So conclusion is, do I recommend these? Yeah, I found these they look more comfortable than they are. The cable's okay. It's a no frills packaging. They come with enough tips. Build quality seems solid, and it's all metal. Now, all metal in the winter is obviously not a good thing, but yeah, the cable's fine, sounds good. The tuning is pretty good. It has the same kind of tuning that a lot of earphones have these days, where the gain is into the treble and from the bass. It's similar tuning to what's getting common. But yeah, on the whole, not a bad set. Just to be picky compared to the C3, it's bigger, more expensive brother. That sounds more refined than this, and I think the tuning it just sounds a little bit better for what I like. On the whole, not a bad set, as you can see. Yeah, reminds me of like Revo Next or something like that. But yeah, not a bad set indeed. If you know anything particular, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. See you in the next video.